Here's the next bit of Doormat, chapter 11, entitled Small Steps. The next morning, Anna could see the sunshine through the curtains, and she took it as a good omen. Although it was difficult, she managed to throw the heavy covers off and climb out of bed. A voice kept telling her to get back in, but she decided to ignore it. Then she went into the kitchen and she looked in the cupboards. They were crammed with food, and it was all junk food: biscuits, cakes, crisps, donuts, sweets, and in the fridge, giant bottles of Coca-Cola. Stuff this, she mumbled to herself, and then she began to throw the junk food into the bin. Each item that she threw away made her feel better. Then she picked up the bottle of Coca-Cola. It was so heavy as she poured it down the sink, where it fizzled unhealthily like acid. It seemed to take a long time, and Anna shuddered at the thought of that liquid going into her stomach, and it looked like poison to her. It was more confirmation that she had to change, and it gave her strength. Then she went to the kitchen cupboards, and she opened the drawers, and the biscuits fell on the floor. She bent down to pick them up, and even that felt like exercise. Then she carried the biscuits and cakes to the bin and threw them in with a clatter, and she did it again and again. Anna opened the curtains and then the windows. It had been so long since she had been outside, but she couldn't stand being cooped up inside any longer. She was beginning to feel like a caged animal. Eventually, she found her old trainers, and memories of sports days came back to her and made her feel young again. Anna forced them on, and as soon as she did so, she felt better, and a little bit of confidence came back like an old friend. And then she went outside for the first time in months. It was so daunting. Anna felt wasn't sure where to go, and then her thoughts turned to her old school. It was about 1 mile away, and she wasn't sure if she could make it there. Even walking to the corner shop had felt like an effort to her, but she was determined to try. She opened the front door and came face to face with real life again. She hadn't been out for months, and she noticed that the trees looked bigger, and one of the neighbors had changed their curtains. Or maybe they had moved, she thought curiously. Each step was difficult, but before she knew it, she was down the street and round the corner. It didn't take long for her to begin sweating and panting. The voice began again. Go home, get back in bed, you're useless, you're fat, you're ugly. But she chose to ignore it. I'm not useless, I'm not ugly, and I won't be fat for long, she told herself. And she looked up at the lamp post, which looked down at her like a sympathetic friend. That's what I'll do, she told herself. I'll go from lamppost to lamppost. Like chapters in a book, they will eventually lead to the end, she thought wisely.